But let's open up with Aaron Rodgers. Last week, Aaron Rodgers missed a game because he had COVID. We missed the podcast because I was at a work conference in New Orleans getting hammered out of my fucking mind. And sorry, this just was not on. Just couldn't get this slotted in. But more importantly, Aaron missed a game. And Aaron has become, a target of the cancel culture, the liberal woke media, the woke mob, as he said, because he's not vaccinated. And now in a press conference at the beginning of the year, he said, yeah, I'm not against people being vaccinated. I am immunized. And people said he misled people with that. Was it misleading? Sure. But he even acknowledged if the follow-up question would have been asked, he would have said what immunized meant. And I'm not mad at him for that because he also explained how, hey, I'm not trying to become the face of non-vaxxers. I'm not trying to become the face of anti-vaxxers. This is health. This is personal to me. And by me having this stance, it can become political, and health should not be political. So I'm like, I get it, Aaron. You don't want to get caught up into the media bullshit because it really has nothing to do with what you're doing because you are making an individual choice for your body. Now, for the people who are mad at Aaron for choosing a different method to medicate himself to protect himself against the COVID-19, I'd say do what works for you. A lot of us don't make money off of our bodies. His body is the most important thing to him right now. He is not an all-pro, an MVP quarterback without his body. So the amount of time and effort and money that he puts into his body is totally different than us. He probably eats more natural foods than we eat. He probably doesn't eat all the processed BS that we eat. His body is what makes him go. And when he talks about he has a team of doctors, both MDs and holistic doctors who he's sitting down with, having these conversations with, that makes sense. And yeah, he reaches out to Joe Rogan. Why? Because Joe Rogan's a super influential person who went an alternative method with his fight against COVID. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. And one of the big things that Aaron talked about and Joe Rogan was preaching, everybody's talking about taking the shot because it's the quick fix, but nobody's talking about living a healthy life. People aren't talking about doing the things in order to actually become a more healthier individual to boost your immunity. And for all of the national pundits who just came for Aaron Rodgers' head, I get it. I get why you'd have something to say. I get why Stephen A. Smith would say he should be suspended. I get why Colin Cowherd's pissed, why Nick Wright's calling him a moron and Jimmy Kimmel's calling him a Karen, right? It's because your parent companies are in bed with the NFL. They are the NFL's partners. And the NFL is trying to force the vaccine on all of its players. Why? Because, it looks good. It says we're doing what we can to fight against COVID. But then when Aaron talks about as a non-vaccinated player, you have to take a COVID test every single day and sit in your car until you test negative, whereas vaccinated players, they get tested every 2 weeks. They can still go in the building after their test, and then the announcement is made after the test, after the results come back, that they have to leave. Because the thing about being vaccinated, your symptoms may not be as severe. You may be asymptomatic, but you can still pass it along. So how does that make sense? You're mad at Aaron for not wearing a mask at the press conference, but he's more than 6 feet away from everybody. You have to be vaccinated to get in there, and he has to test negative that day in order to do the press conference. So it's like, hold on, I'm wearing a mask for what? I don't have it. So if I don't have it and all y'all are vaccinated, what's the problem here? And when he used the MLK quote, and some of y'all tried to say that he's comparing himself to Martin Luther King. No, he's not. He was just saying when rules are stupid, when rules don't make sense, we have an obligation to stand up against those dumb rules. And that's what he was trying to do. Why? Because you want to call him a bad leader, but he was one of the people who was in a place who could stand up against the NFL, stand up against the Packers and say, this is how I feel. This is what I feel about the virus. And other players couldn't do that because they lacked the clout to do that. He had the clout. So for those of you who are mad at Aaron Rodgers, get over it. It's his body, his choice, right? For those of you who are championing Aaron Rodgers as an anti-vaxxer, as Kyrie 2.0, I would say, bro, get over it. It's his body, his choice. He's not here to be your spokesperson. All he is somebody who challenges Western medicine, you know, the medicine that doesn't seek to heal. It just seeks to keep you medicated so that you can, you know, feed the capitalist monster here. And he's like, no, I actually am looking for true immunity. I'm looking for true healing.